Good morning. So continuing on my journey of trying to document as much as I can. Today is Friday, March 8th. My children are not awake yet, so I have to try to always do these things when they are sleeping because I have two children under the age of 2. My son is almost 8 months old. And he had heart surgery at 4 days old, so he's my heart warrior baby. And my daughter is turning 2 in just a couple weeks. So, yes, it's an exciting journey. Anyway, so today I am going to get them ready, drop them off, and then I was like, oh, my eyebrows. And then I'm going to be heading up to my oncologist. So a little recap again. So I had brain surgery at UCSF. So UCSF is in San Francisco, and 99% of the time there's traffic, and it's about a 3-hour drive for me. So I have a local oncologist who did all my chemotherapy treatments, and I am going today to meet with her to follow up on my follow-up scan I had done yesterday. So I finished my radiation and chemotherapy 3 weeks ago. And everything that you see on TV about waiting for the results of your scan is true, at least for me. You're excited, you're nervous, there's so many thoughts and feelings that go along with it because, yeah, I'm done with radiation and treatment, and so many people think that it ends there, but it doesn't. At this point, I have no clue whether radiation and treatment did anything to my tumor. And yes, I had the tumor removed, but I had like little finger phalanges that went in. So they tried to shrink as much as they could of what was left. And so at this point, you have no idea whether everything that you suffered through the last year was even worth it. So you're sitting here waiting to see, like, did I torture my body for no reason? Did I make myself sick for no reason? Did I spend the last year tired and exhausted for no reason? And when you go to the doctor, you really don't know the results you're going to get. So when you sit down there, you're waiting, and it's like you're going to get either a good or a bad answer, right? Either everything went great or everything didn't go good. And it is very nerve-wracking waiting. It's so much waiting that goes along with treatment and all the stuff. But I will definitely keep everybody updated. And yeah, at this moment, waiting for it, it's sort of just like you really do take yourself to a worst case scenario. What happens if I go to the doctor and, I find out that all this was for nothing? Then you're like, well, what do I do then? And then, I have 2 children, and you do start to think a lot about, like, what do I do for my kids if treatment didn't work? What do I do about my life if treatment didn't work? What's the next step? And there's all these things that you start to think about, and you don't want your mind to go there. I've tried really hard the last year to stay really positive and think about everything in the best aspect and, look at everything as a blessing instead of a curse. And it's hard not to go there. So you try really hard to just say, you know what, I'm going to go in today. I'm going to hear the results, and one day at a time, whatever she says at that point, I will move forward and make my choices. So eventually I'm going to do a video sort of explaining who I am and my whole journey. But one of the reasons I really wanted to start doing this is I'm only 33 years old. And from what I've found, at least in my community, I haven't really met anybody near my age. So I started going to a cancer support group, and I'm really the only person there under the age of 50. And it's really hard to necessarily relate. So it's like, yeah, you get support for people understanding what you're going through. But I really resonated a couple weeks ago where it's like, one of the guys is like, oh, I had to retire early. I had one lady was like, I had to teach my children how to cook their own meals, and they were teenagers. So, I mean, she was a little bit younger, but at the end of the day, I can't retire early. I'm in the prime of my career. There's so much more I want to do. I can't teach my 2-year-old how to cook herself dinner. It's just not realistic. And so I wanted to really start this because I'm 33 years old, and a lot of the things that I'm going through, unless you're in the same age range, it's not the same. If you're a child, your parents are there basically suffering with you. And You know, I'm not a child, I'm an adult, but I'm a young adult. So retiring early is not an option. I'm not at that place in my life. So I feel like what I'm going through is very rare, at least from what I'm experiencing in my community. I don't have really anybody to relate to. So I'm really trying to reach out and share more so that people like me don't feel like there's nobody out there, because I know they're out there. So that's my goal of all of this. So I'll definitely let you guys know my results today, but I just wanted to share kind of how I'm feeling, because I'm very scared and nervous because you don't know what you're going to get when you go. So I'm going to hope for the best. I have really great doctors and really good support team, and my family's been amazing. So at this point, that's all I can do is just handle one thing at a time. And hopefully my little children wake up soon so I can see their faces and get cheered up before I go to the doctor. So have a great day.